What's going on, everybody? Just so there's no confusion, I'm just going to explain how to set up a game and just get started a little more clearly in this video, hopefully shorter as well, so you can just get started and not be confused if anybody finds this too daunting or intimidating or don't know how to start. So, first thing you do, everybody needs to connect to the server and everybody needs to choose a seat to sit in. If you sit on the right side of the table with these colors, you're on the blue team. If you sit on the left side, you're on the red team. Okay? Just if you play the mod code names, you will know this concept pretty well. So, after everybody takes their seat, the host will use this interface in the top left of the game setup to choose how many number of cards per player will be given and the number of cards they will discard. I believe by popularity, most people leave this at 0. So, I will, for example, let's say 2 cards per player, and we'll make it 1 card to discard. And what this will do is that if this was a 1-player game, the deck will be a max of 2 cards, but it will give you 3, and 1 will have to be discarded. If you use this in a team game, this means that everybody's going to have to choose X amount of cards that you specified that they don't want to be in the game. So this can help or benefit to maybe know the cards better, or maybe get rid of things that you find are too risque if you're streaming or anything of that such. So if I spawn deck, it says spawning a deck, please wait. There we go. Load it in. And then when they drop, bam, 3 cards. Then you click on start game. And then if you notice, I'm the only player and it's 3 per card, or 2 per card plus the 1 discarding. So what I do is I go through these, Jordan, Kirsten Dunst, or planking. Let's say that I don't think my team will ever get this actress and doesn't know it very well. So I will just put it on the table. That's it. And then when you're done, you click on done discarding.
Round 1.
And round 1 begins. Now, all you do for this is you try to explain to your team on your team's turn, remember, right side is blue, left side is red, to guess the card that you are drawing from the deck into your hand. Just like charades. So if I start, we already saw the 2 cards, 1 is planking. So I could say anything that is not the bold print at the top. I can read the description out loud if I want to, and I can even read the blue font right here, which is called the category. So I could say, I could literally just read, a person would lie face down somewhere odd. Some definitions require that the palms, blah, 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 blah. But if I want to, I could say, it's that fad where everybody laid down horizontally in like random places. They could either not know what it is and you could pass, or they could know what it is, say the word planking, and you click on score and go to the next card. You would do this for all the other ones. There's also a point category on the bottom of the card for the difficulty of the card. So planking would be a 2, Jordan would be a 1. Because you could, let me let the time go out. So for instance, if they don't know the country of Jordan, even though it's a 1-pointer, it's a 1-pointer because you could still get somebody to say it. Like you could say the famous basketball player, Michael blank. They could say Jordan, and you would score it. So whatever creative way you can think of to get them to score the card is completely legit. That was a 2-deck card. We got both the cards correct. Therefore, after that, we hit count points. We got 3 points because the 1-point Jordan and the 2-point planking, and we go to the next round. Now, the round isn't over until the whole deck is complete. Those were only 2 cards. but decks can be from 2 to 10 to 50 to 80 if you really feel it's necessary, though I highly recommend you keep it within the 30 or 40 range, even for 10-player parties. For round 2, you would do this again until the deck is depleted, just like round 1, except in round 1, you were allowed to say anything except the card title itself, but in round 2, you're only allowed to say one word, and instead of 60 seconds per turn, you get 30 seconds per turn. So it goes by faster. So for this, you could say horizontal, planking, correct. Michael, and then your teammate would say Jordan, correct. And then after that is done, you count the points again, and you go to the final round. And the final round is a non-verbal round where you just draw and do sound effects within reason to get the card. So essentially, you're going through the deck 3 times until everybody in the game has scored the card at least once in each round. So every card in this deck needs to be scored 3 times in a whole entire game of Verbatim. So, for instance, I could try to draw a basketball. I could try my best to draw the country itself or anything like that. I could try to draw a basketball hoop. You could do whatever you want. Whatever your group has kind of created over the time, you can use to make it. Maybe Jordan, there's a person in your group named Jordan, and he might be sitting over here in this seat. You could just point an arrow to him and say Jordan. It's completely legal. And then for this, you could just draw a plank. And that's essentially it. After that, you score it up.
Blue team wins.
And the audio will tell you who won. That is pretty much it. Any other side notes to know, I would say, is that these interface boxes are movable. So if you are playing this game,
round 1,
the timer is movable. And also the card is also movable, and there is a zoom at the top of the card as well if you need to decrease the size. This also helps for round 3 when you're drawing, when you need the card to be smaller so it's not in the way of your drawing. As well as that, a thing to know is that on the top right here, it tells you what team you're on. And if you are actually red and actually blue, you are the clue givers. And one last thing, is that if you do not feel like hitting score or pass with your mouse, there's 2 options. You can, on the interface at least, you could toggle buttons down here at the right and actually click on score and pass on the board itself, or you could actually hit numpad 1 or numpad 2. 1 for score, 2 for pass, if you need to go faster. And that's about it. This is how you play Verbatim. If you click on spawn deck, you will spawn the vanilla deck. And as the recording of this video right now, it's just a little shy of 8,000 cards. But if you go to custom decks and you click on, you can either load a token if you know the exact token name of the card, you can load it that way, or you can click on fetch public custom decks. And this will show you any deck that someone has made that is of at least 50 cards. So if you look, this is all languages. So you could do English, and it will show you all the decks that we have. A nice man also made a Korean version of Verbatim with all the Korean decks. And we also have just one Spanish deck. So if anybody speaks a different language, or if you speak Spanish and you want to make more Spanish cards for the Spanish deck, I would love to see it. And I would love to see more people play this in different languages. It would be really cool to look at. But other than that, that's about it. And I hope this clears up some questions anybody had, and have fun playing.